Listo.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Today we would like to talk about Pygmalion, the history of this, the context, and a brief summary, and the characters. So enjoy.
Flower. Oh, good morning. My name is Liza Pulido. I'm known as the Flower Girl. I'm the protagonist of this play.
My name is Haynes, and I'm the one who teaches Liza to talk. I'm a phonician, and I'm really interested in teaching how to talk, but I'm not really interested in teaching her self-respect.
Good morning. My name is Pickering. I'm Higgins' friend, and then I become friend of Eliza. I'm a linguistics, and I am characterized for always maintain my manners, not as Higgins did.
Now, as we already introduced you the main character of this play, I would like to talk about the play itself, a brief summary about it. So, thank you. We have a relationship between Pygmalion and the Galatian myth, which is that in the Galatian myth we have Pygmalion and Galatea, that they are both characters similar to Higgins and Eliza in this play. So you will see one. So before, now Pygmalion is Higgins in this play. Now, the first act in this play is that we have the presentation of the characters. We have Higgins, we have Pickering, and we have Eliza among other characters that are not really important in this situation. And the thing is that they are faced to this woman who is a woman who sells flowers in the streets, and Higgins, who is a politician, met Pickering, and they make a bet, and Higgins bet that he can teach this woman how to speak like a duchess. So that's the first thing we. Now, she is really interested, and Pickering tells Higgins that he will pay for the cost of the experiment if it is a success experiment. Next slide, please. So the next day, Eliza arrived to Higgins' home to tell him that she is interested in the experiment and that she would like to be taught how to speak correctly. Now, when all this begins, we have Higgins trying to change Eliza in several aspects. One, the main aspect, and the first aspect is changing her clothes and her clothing. And for this, his housekeeper helps her, and that's a very important aspect, because Higgins is really interested in teaching her how to talk and how to speak, but not really interested in the self-respect of Eliza. He's not a people person. He's not that kind of person, and he's just interested in, let's say, she says I talk good, but just correct that kind of things. And after that, we have a presentation of Eliza's father with a very humorous and iconic part, but I'm just going to tell you the main aspects of this story. Now, after that, Eliza decides to live with Higgins for a couple of months, 6 months to be specific. She will have to face two main things during this time. The first is the meeting at Higgins' house, where she will have to perform and talk like a duties in front of Higgins' house and some other people. Now, these other people are part of this town, and at this occasion, Eliza committed a mistake, and she started to talk like she used to do it, and they were very surprised. Higgins' mother tries to tell him, Pickering and Higgins, that this is not going to be a successful experiment, because after all this situation, they wouldn't know what to do. When Eliza finally learned to speak, the experiment will be over. Now, the next situation that she would have to face is the ambassador's party, where she will have to perform like a duchess, and that situation is not played in the play because of the, as according to the history, is because of the theaters were not big enough to support that kind of people on stage. So it's taken by granted that the party happened, and Eliza knew how to behave. Now, after all that, after these two situations, Higgins and Pickering don't know what else to do. So at that point, Eliza felt that she was treated just like an object, like an experiment, and Pickering always tried to treat Eliza like a person, but Higgins didn't. So at that point, Eliza realized that she was only an object for Higgins. And the very important aspect was that she didn't have self-respect, and Higgins never could teach that. And after that, Eliza decides to leave home, leaves Higgins' home, and she goes to Higgins' mother home, where she found where Higgins found out that she had decided to leave him and to marry Freddie, which was another character, and to live him forever, because Higgins never took care of her as a woman, as a person. He only saw her as an experiment.
Well, Pygmalion takes place in London during the Victorian period that, as you know, it is characterized, among many other things, by its strong class system, the different ways of speaking, and the women's role and rights. All of these are the main features that the play Pygmalion based on. The differences between the rich and the poor, the women's rights and rules, and the way people spoke and how they were seen or how they were classified according to the way they spoke. The author George Bernard Shaw was a social reformist that used this place to expose the hypocrisies and complacencies of this novel, of the period, I mean. In other words, he makes his work very representational of how he faced everything that happened on that period. He is very known because he made famous the concept of Shakespearean drama, that is a politically and socially discussion play. Well, this play is also known as a part of the genre known as Victorian romance, whose main concepts are the social issues that were treated with a code of comedy. This type of novel or literary works also talks about poor but honorable and strong-limbed ladies and men who learn at the end of the place that how can I say that wealth and social classes are not the most important or not define a character in particular. Okay, the themes of the play. As this play was written in 1912 at the end of the Victorian period, and this period was characterized by a social rigid character. And the first theme is social class and manners. In those times, the people that belonged to the higher class had to always keep their manners. But ironically, in this play, some of the lower classes characters had better manners than the higher, that the characters that belong to the higher classes. Next, we have language and speech. As we know, Higgins and Pickering were linguistics and phonetics, so they studied how people from different backgrounds speak differently. And the play reveals the power of language. For example, when Pickering called Eliza by Miss Doolittle, and on the other side, Higgins insults language, making Eliza feels uncomfortable and hurting Eliza's feelings. and that especially shows us how language can be so violent and the potential of language. Then we have identity. At the beginning of the play, he can easily guess where people come from according to their accent, their dialect, and the way they speak. They use some slangs, and that shows us how people from different parts of the world, even they speak the same language, we can recognize that they are from different parts because they use different accents and slangs. The final one is appearance. Here in the play, appearance it is important because it shows us how it can change from one person to another, because an example of this is Eliza, that she become to the lower class, and with Higgins and Pygmalion's help, she could appear to be from a noble class, changing their manners and their appearance.